Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, given the circumstances, what did you think about the fight of your group all the way down through the fourth quarter, facing a big deficit both in the game and in the series?
I mean, I just thought I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of the way they handled themselves in the bubble. Obviously we were dealt with more than our share of injury issues. And, they worked hard. They've had good attitude. And look, we're down 3. If we got 2 stops and couldn't get a rebound, and that led to the Marvin Williams 3, which was, difficult. But, we fought hard, and we need to take some time and obviously everybody exhale, and then, look for, when the next season will start and everything like that, so we can get organized.
Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Steve, you just said this basically, but I was wondering if you could help put this into some context. Have you ever been with a team that faced as much adversity, starting with that Toronto game in which both, I think, MCW and JI got hurt?
Well, I'm old, but I went through one year. We went through a year in Houston where we lost both Yao and Tracy McGrady, and we went from 51 wins to, I believe, 32. And so that was a tough year. And it was similar to this. It's just, when you take, injuries to your best players, it can take a toll on you. And that's why I'm very proud of this group. I'm proud of the way they competed. Milwaukee they're a championship caliber team. And we hung in there because we had the right approach. And we gave ourselves chances in every game but game 3. So, it says a lot about the character of the guys in the locker room.
Luke Hetrick, Spectrum Sports.
Coach, obviously a different set of circumstances this year, but the same results as last year's first round. How did you guys, in your mind, take a step forward as a playoff basketball team this year?
Yeah, it won't show, Luke, because we lost 4-1 last year, 4-1 this year. But obviously we played with much more confidence and we were much more competitive. I think the experience last year with Toronto was good for us. I think we had guys who learned from that. And we played at a much higher level, especially when we got down 2 games to 1 than we did a year ago.
Mike Bianchi, Orlando Sentinel.
Steve, after what happened on Wednesday and just the impact that had, do you think that that's what these playoffs are going to be remembered for?
I think it'll certainly be a big part of it, Mike. And hopefully we'll look back on this and say that, what happened in the NBA was one of the times that was instrumental in our country making the changes that we need to. That part I hope does happen. I also think this, though, the caliber of play in these playoffs was getting better and better. There are great teams left. You've seen already some incredible playoff games. And I think that these next series, if you look at the teams that are involved, to me, there's more balanced talent in both the East and the West than there was last year.
Evan Fitzgerald, Fox 35.
Hey, Cliff, you sort of alluded to this, but can you sort of speak to the character in that locker room, both on the court, the way that they fight, but also off the court over the last few days, what you've seen?
No question. There's been some, starting to be honest with of the 13 teams, the players meeting that they invited the coaches to go to, that was incredibly intense and passionate. We've had team meetings that, obviously we're not going to share, that were equally as intense and passionate. And guys have hung in there. And, again, it makes me proud of our team, of the way that there's a lot going on. The NBA did an incredible job of creating a safe environment in the bubble. And I think we were here, somebody told me today, 53, 54, 55 days. And that's trying also for everybody. There is a lot of character in the room and a lot of professionalism.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, could you just speak to the series for Nikola Vucevic? I mean, obviously, he had his struggles last season, and then this series as a whole just seemed he put together dominant performance after, impressive performance.
He was terrific. I mean, and not just scoring. I mean, he played terrific all around games. I mean, the way he rebounded. They're 5 out. They put so much pressure on you defensively because they put you in situations, both with ball movement and pick and rolls, where guys are asked to do things that they don't normally do. And he was on it from the beginning. He had a great approach, and he had a great series, but he's played at a really high level the whole bubble.
Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Steve, I know you're just minutes from getting eliminated, but can you put this year in perspective? What do you think your team accomplished, and then what do you feel like it didn't accomplish?
Well, I just told them if you go back to, say, our first day of training camp, I envisioned us being a much different team, obviously, than the team that I was speaking with in there. To start the year, we envisioned being a size team that could be great defensively, playing Aaron and Jonathan, and then Farouk is obviously a major part of our team. And, none of those guys were in there today. So, again, and it happens in this league, but we did have more than our fair share of bad luck this year with injuries. And, not only in the bubble, but if you go back, Josh, to the last, from the All-Star break on, I mean, we were playing at a really high level. Guys have the right attitude, and they worked, and they understand that you got to keep getting better as the season goes on. And that's the kind of team we had because we had the right approach.
Okay, last question. Eric Wilson, 1070.
Hey, Coach, given everything that's happened, can you just speak to specifically James Ennis, Gary Clark, and Markelle, their production for you this season?
Oh, I mean, all three of them. I think, first of all, Markelle is far ahead of where I think we could have hoped that he would be a year ago. I mean, I still go back to 13 months ago. I mean, he couldn't shoot free throw line jumpers every day. He's healthier. He's a great worker and obviously a super talented guy with a bright future. Ever since we picked up James, our team has played better and better. And, he's a terrific natural competitor. He's an excellent defender, and he's like a career 36% three-point shooter. So he was a big plus. And Gary Clark, took advantage of an opportunity to play and did a really good job. Not just shooting the ball, but again, he has a defensive mentality for his size and a knack for rebounding the ball that, bodes well for him to be a good NBA player.
Coach, just one more question. Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Steve, we know how competitive you are. How much does a series loss like this hurt?
Oh, look, I don't like when players or coaches come off like, I hate to lose more than anybody else, but it's why we coach. You coach to have opportunities in playoff series. Obviously everybody, not just our staff, their staff, everybody's putting everything into it. So when you lose, for sure, it's difficult.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Coach.